You good, Ron? I think we're good.
Okay. I would like to welcome everybody. As my last official task, I would like the opportunity to raise my glass and wish you all happy holidays and a happy new year. And I will introduce to you, I got to get my glass here. There you go. Toast to all of you. And I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our AASEW President, Mike Cottrell. I can tell you that Mike has already hit the ground running. And with that, I would like to toast Mike and thank him for taking the role as president of AASEW. And I will turn the meeting over to you, Mike. So happy New Year and happy holidays to everybody.
Thanks, Ron. And I think more so from myself and the rest of the board and all the members. I don't think we can thank you enough for the amount of time and the commitment and the effort that you've committed to the association and so forth. So I really think the toast tonight is on you. So really appreciate it. Look forward to doing it with you in person for sure, as soon as we can. And I know you're not going anywhere. I know you're going to be close by. I know you're hanging around and staying involved. So we really, really appreciate it. So from that standpoint, thank you again for everything you have done. As far as stepping into the new role, I really appreciate everybody's support. The membership has been fantastic. I've been around for, I think, 14 or 15 years as a member attending things. So it's been quite fun. I really appreciate it. I have some great relationships and tremendous rapport with a lot of members. So that being said, I also want to thank the board for everything they have done and take a few minutes here to introduce them. So before I do that, though, I do want to, just from a membership standpoint, if you haven't had the opportunity to meet Sadie and or Giselle, they are on there. Giselle, have you got your video on? Can you flip that back on and say hello in your mic?
Hello, hello.
There you go. Unmute yourself, Giselle.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Giselle. Welcome, and we're glad you could join us. You want to say anything real quick?
I just want to say hello to everyone. So I'm the one who is annoying you with your emails. So hi.
All righty, thank you very much. And Sadie's kind of driving the bus behind the scenes and controlling everything. So if you met Sadie before we ended up going, COVID hit and got to meet Sadie at the beginning of the year, definitely welcome her and appreciate all her effort. There she is. Hi, Sadie.
Hi, everyone.
So thanks again for everything you do, Sadie, and we really appreciate it. So I know you and Kathy spent a lot of time together before kind of passing the torch a little bit. So really appreciate that. So you as well. Just real quickly, want to run down the board members real quick and just a quick hello. And I think we'll just start with Tim Ballering, our treasurer and longtime member and past president. Tim.
Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. Hope everyone has the wonderful holidays, despite the fact that we're not socializing like we used to. So.
Gotcha, and thanks for all your years, Tim. I know we won't say the number unless you want to say the number.
The number is 31 years on the board, I believe.
Yeah, wow, incredible. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And we're going to hear from Tristan later, but Tristan, a quick hello. Everything good on your end? You all mic'd up in video?
Everything's good here. I couldn't find an ugly sweater. I went to 3 different places, so I went with an ugly hat that sings and moves. So maybe if I drink some more, you will get to see it sing and move.
Nice, nice. All righty. Dawn Anastasi. Dawn,
Hi, everybody. I have been a member of the Apartment Association for many years and also a board member for many years. I know I've met a number of you at the general meetings that we've had in person, and I really miss socializing with everybody this year, but I'm looking forward to next year when we get back to our new normal.
Yes, and we couldn't thank Dawn enough for all her insight, the newsletter, the bulletins, the communication that goes out there. It's extremely appreciated. So, Brian Barch, are you out there, Brian? Did you make it, bud? No, Brian had some kid things to do and wasn't quite sure if he was gonna be able to make it. We'll jump to Steve Belter. Steve, are you out there?
I'm here.
All right.
If everything's working correctly. So I just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. We got some good things that we're doing, some big plans for next year. So I'm really excited about it.
Great. Thanks, Steve. Melissa Gaglione, did you make it, Melissa?
Oh, you know what? I was on mute. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Great. Hi.
Hi, how are you? How's everyone? Merry Christmas.
You as well?
My audio is really bad. Our internet by our house is terrible. I apologize. It's kind of delayed.
Gotcha. No, you're coming through fine and clear, and you got your Santa hat on, I see.
Yes, I do. Holiday spirit.
Great. Let's see, it's Christy. Christy, did you make it? No Christy yet. Okay. And I know Letitia. Letitia, did you get squared away or still working on things? Nope. Okay. Jasmine, I know I saw you in the list. Oh, there's Letitia.
I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if you could hear me or not.
Now we can.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a crying 2-year-old that won't leave me alone for 15 minutes. But happy holidays to everyone. I look forward to 2021. And it's been a crazy year. I look forward to seeing everyone in person. And if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you. Tell him Santa's coming. Jasmine?
Hi. Hello, everyone. So I'm new to the board. I'm really excited. I am a landlord myself, so I'm just really invested in learning and helping in any way that I can. I'm really, as everyone, want to wish everybody a happy holidays, safe and happy holidays, but really going to hit the ground running in 2021 with any committee or any way that I can be of service for the chapter. Thank you.
Thank you. We're looking forward to having you and your new energy. So that's great. And finally, Brandon Bruckman. Brandon, I know I saw you out there. Are you all mic'd up and video?
I'm all mic'd up and ready to go, Mike.
All right, awesome.
I need a better hat, and I need Tristan's background. That's an A+ holiday background for the call. It's phenomenal. No, I'm new to the board as well. I've been on as a vendor member for the past 3 years, spoken at a couple meetings, and helped a few members through their 1031 exchanges. So I'm looking forward to finding ways to help grow the membership in 2021. I think we're finding some of those things already in our first meeting a few weeks ago. So very excited about that. And of course, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone.
Thanks, Brandon, and same thing. Very much looking forward to your new energy and whatnot and ideas on the board. So thank you very much. So that is your board for 2021. Really looking forward to working with everybody. I think the membership group will be very happy with the new additions and whatnot. Just real quickly, I just do want to recognize Gersten Barada and the Equitable Bank for their Advantage member sponsorship. and all our other supporting members and basic general business members as well. Without you guys, we wouldn't get the things done that we're able to get done, in addition to the general membership. So really appreciate that, and hopefully we can, through virtual, start making a better effort and recognizing you guys and the things you do for us. So really appreciate it. So that being said, obviously this is a holiday get-together. Hopefully everybody has a cocktail and on ice or whatever, your favorite beverage, whatever it may be. We've got a short video here, and then we're going to have our first guest speaker, and that will be Joe Murray. And let me drive here a minute and find this video. I apologize. Listen in and fill your beverage, and we'll be right back.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. The bells on bobtail ring, they make our spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and we got upside. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
All righty, with that being said, we are going to have our first speaker, Joe Murray. Joe is the current Director of Political and Government Affairs for the Wisconsin Realtors Association. His responsibilities include organizing all political and fundraising programs for the association, and also include legislative lobbying. Joe directs all grassroots efforts and political fundraising for the WRA and its 19 local board affiliates. He manages 7 local government affair directors involved in federal and state issues, advocacy campaigns, state and federal candidate campaigns. Prior to joining, he represents 16,500 realtors and one of the most respected and influential voices in the political and legislative process in Wisconsin. Prior to joining the WRA team in '87, Joe worked as a legislative analyst in the Wisconsin State Senate and ran several successful campaigns, including the '86 race for the Attorney General won by Don Hanaway. We are very fortunate to have Joe as our lobbyist for AASEW, and we thought with the current political environment going on, what a better time to hear from Joe. So we will turn it over to Joe. Joe, video and mic, you all good?
Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me?
We can, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike, and thank you everyone for having me to the party tonight. It's a very unusual year, as Mike and others have already said. Everything, well, not everything, but everything that I do is pretty much virtual these days. So I do appreciate it. Just a quick little bit about myself. I have been working for the WRA for over 30 years, but 5 years ago, we sat down with the Apartment Association and we met, I believe it was in Lake Mills. And that was when I had the opportunity to come and do some work along and for you folks. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. I myself am one of those mom and pop landlords. I have a duplex. I'm like many of you or others, I am the definition of the small landlord out there. So I live and breathe those kinds of issues just like all of you. So I have a pretty good understanding of it. And at WRA, outside of the legal stuff, when it comes to landlord tenant, I take the lead for the Realtors Association on those issues. So it's been a really good fit. I have enjoyed every moment working with your team, Ron, Heiner, Tristan, Tim, Mike, others. It's a good fit. And I think we have got a lot done. Prior to what I want to talk about in just a minute or so, we spent the last 5 years and before that even getting a whole lot of things done for the industry and the legislature when the time was ripe to get a lot of those things done, and we were very successful. And your organization, along with ours and some others, all were very, very effective in getting all of that accomplished in a fairly short time. So with that, I would just like to spend a few minutes talking to you tonight about the things that have taken place since March, when everybody in this meeting knows things changed dramatically. All of a sudden, we went from a booming economy and everything's going well to basically into what we've been through for the last 10 months. And for some in the real estate industry, it has been not a lot different, whether you are a landlord or a realtor. In some cases, you may not have been affected, but in a fair number of cases, they have been affected, particularly on the landlord-tenant side because of eviction moratorium, whether it was at the state level at first or now the federal level through the CDC. And all of the issues that go along with that, and the CARES Act and the rental assistance, et cetera, et cetera. I think everybody on here is pretty knowledgeable about most of those programs. So when all of this started, I put a list together for this little talk tonight about all the things that happened when March happened. And it's a list of 7 things that I think are something that most of your leadership is well aware of, but perhaps some of you in the membership are not. And I think you will be happy to know that your leadership, along with others in the industry, have been extremely active and very much on top of the issues that we've all addressed since this started. Let me run down the list. First of all, your leadership meets on a weekly basis, Thursday mornings at 9 o'clock. We met at 9 o'clock this morning, just like we do every week. We put together an agenda. We talk about the things that we've been tasked to do over a week-to-week basis and where things are with what Congress might be considering, what kinds of things we need to do in order to get ahead of things before they become a problem. These weekly meetings, these are at least an hour, sometimes they're more, and they're very detailed, and it allows the leadership of the AASEW to stay very much on top and in tune with what's going on, how it could affect people or is already affecting membership, and what we need to do in order to try to make things better or keep more bad things from happening. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. 2, there is this organization that was formed when all of this started called the COVID-19 Task Force. That is a a grouping of landlords from all over the state, the Wisconsin Apartment Association of Southeast Wisconsin, and others. And they also get together every week. So here you go from just our association within our geographic range. And now you've got the industry, its leadership and membership being involved and on top of issues from a statewide basis. They too, just like your association, bring in speakers, keep membership informed of what is going on, what to expect, what might be coming down the pike. Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't. And also working to keep decision makers, political decision makers, up to speed on how things are affecting our industry and what needs to be done and what concerns we might have. So there is the local based association working with the broader statewide association, all making sure that we're on the same page, singing out of the same hymnal, talking to people with one voice, trying to make sure they understand the issues that confront our industry, what needs to be done, and how important it really is if you want to avoid the kinds of things that could happen if Congress doesn't act fairly soon, and those kinds of things. The next thing that was on my list, and I think it's very significant, is to the extent to which the landlord associations are working with the tenant advocates. I don't think I have to tell any of you that landlords and tenant advocates are not always on the same page. There is probably a long history of disagreements, not all the time, but on some fairly major issues. But I think the COVID-19 crisis has accomplished one thing. If there's one really good thing that has come out of this, otherwise not very good thing, I think the relationship that our association and the other apartment associations have pulled together during this time with the tenant advocates is a real plus for everybody. We might still have some differences of opinion on the edges of the issues, but by and large, we are working very closely with legal action, legal aid, all kinds of groups, and several of them are Milwaukee based. And I think that is probably the one really good thing that has come out of that, primarily because it allows the entire industry to speak to decision makers, whether they're congressional, local, at the county level, city, mayors of Milwaukee or Madison. We're all speaking with the same voice. We're coming with the same message. We're making sure that when we talk to them, they understand that we're not at odds, that we all have the same needs, or as my friend Tim Ballerin often reminds us, he says, if one of us fail, all of us fail. There's no winners or losers in this side. If one side's gonna lose, everybody's gonna lose. So speaking with one voice is very important, and that working relationship with the tenant advocates is really, really key. Public communications. The three groups, the Apartment Association of Southeast Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Apartment Association, and the Wisconsin Realtors Association have teamed up and hired Platform Communications out of Madison. Platform is a group that has a really skilled group of people that understand how the media works. They have relationships with them. We work with them, and they've helped us craft a message and get that message out to not only just political decision makers, but the public at large through op-eds that they have crafted along with our assistance, with other letters to members of Congress or the state legislature, they have been a part of our effort, and I think that that's not an insignificant thing. Our communications with legislators and decision makers is one thing, but I think our our communications with the public is an equally important part of this equation, and that's where they come in and are very helpful to us. Again, they have those relationships and they help us build bridges to the media, which is the voice to the public at large. I wouldn't be so foolish or naive to say that there are times where it's a challenge in spite of our best efforts. I don't think it's a stretch to say that landlords are not always looked at as the good guys by the mainstream media. Perhaps the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is the clearest example of that, although we have made some good progress working behind the scenes with that newspaper as well. Heiner and Tim do a lot of work, public relations work in that area behind the scenes, and I hope you appreciate everything that they do. Communicating with elected officials, specifically targeting and working with elected officials. I'll give you a good example of what we've done over the last 3.5 weeks or so. As we wait for the Congress to hopefully come up with the next aid package, and we hope and are working for making sure that they have a landlord assistance provision in that bill. And at the moment, the bill that they are considering does have one of those provisions, and it's $25 billion. Our message in sitting down with the mayor of Milwaukee, the county executive of Milwaukee, the Dane County executive, Gwen Moore from Congress, and Senator Ron Johnson in the congressional district. I might even be missing one here, but we have been putting together and meeting with these decision makers, one, to update them on the status of the industry and what's going on, two, to thank them for the first CARES Act and the fact that they had rental assistance for tenants and landlords in that bill, and three, to make sure they clearly understand that you cannot have either a state or a federal moratorium on evictions without having the financial assistance on the other side to make sure that we don't have failure. But just like that's all part of our message. You can't have one side that wins and one side that loses without everybody being the loser. So we have gone very specifically and tasked ourselves with meeting with those people so that they understand the critical importance of staying on top of this issue. I don't think it's unfair to say that the first CARES Act and the additional unemployment compensation and the stimulus checks and the PPP and various things actually did quite a bit to make sure that the eviction moratorium was backstopped financially. And we want to make sure that's probably our number one goal and the thing that we're working on these days. Legal steps. I'm certainly, as a non-attorney, I'm certainly not going to try and play an attorney. That's why Heiner and Tristan are as good as they are and available and always working on behalf of you, the members. They're always looking at what's coming down the pike, what has arrived, and what we need to know, making sure that the members are educated and understand the nuts and bolts of what it is they need to know in order to navigate whatever it is Congress has sent us. Sometimes working and filing suits or various kinds of things in front of the courts. That is another whole part of the process that most people don't see and probably are not aware of, but it does go on, and it's part of what we do. The last thing I would bring up that I think is critically important and I think everybody understands why, and that's monitoring what it is Congress is thinking of doing, might be coming at us with, and doing everything we can to stay on top of that. I don't want to take anybody's thunder here, but I think just real quick, the latest package, whichever one they ultimately decide on, whether it's 900 billion, 748 billion, or something between, it's a very fluid process, as they say. We want to make sure that the provision that is in the bill that we keep seeing and getting background on remains in the package. It's essentially, to simplify it, a $25 billion provision that would go to landlords and tenants for rental assistance. It comes with some strings, but we view that as critically important, and monitoring and making sure we are aware of what's going on is also part of everything we do. So just to summarize, I would say to everybody, most of you whom I've probably not had a chance to meet, I think you have excellent leadership in the association. I've had a chance to work with them now for 5 years. I know how knowledgeable they are, how on top of it they are, how much they care about how anything that's going to happen, be it good or bad, is going to affect you, the members. And I hope that when we all can actually get together and tip one back and shake hands and chat and do all those things that we miss so much, I hope you'll go out of your way to thank them for what they do. I've had 5 years to work with them on a very intricate basis, and I can tell you they're involved, they care, and they do a really good job for you. And I'm grateful to have the chance to work with them, for them, and all of you. So with that, I will close out my remarks, and if you have questions and I can answer them, I'd certainly be happy to try.
Thank you, Joe. And yeah, if anybody has a quick question, turn on your video and your mic real quick. And or if it's something in the chat room, Sadie will check and see if there's anything in the chat room. But anybody out there have a question for Joe?
Mike, I just wanted to say, Joe said a lot of very nice things about the members of the AASEW and the work we've done, and I guess I would just like to repeat that back to him. He's been essential, really has stepped up, guides us on the things that we need guidance. We do not understand the political machinations in Madison, and he's been a great asset, so we're very fortunate to have him.
Definitely. Yes, well said, Tristan. Thank you. All righty. Well, that said, again, we are queuing up a quick video, and time to make a run to the refrigerator and refill that cocktail if you need. And next up will be Tristan.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you'll be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all. With those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmas is long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. No. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. My God. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the
All righty. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed that a little bit, loosen the mood a little bit in between all the seriousness talk and et cetera. So I don't think Tristan needs a huge introduction. He is so well known within the association, and I know everybody is so appreciative of everything he does and the time he gives. So with that being said, a little bit of a legal updates at courts, et cetera. We'll turn it over to you, Tristan.
Thanks, Mike. Happy holidays, everyone. That video, I watched that prior to this event. I don't know if you guys saw it. It seemed like it was not as clean as usual. Watch it. It's really funny. Pretty amazing what those dogs are doing. So if it didn't come through as well for you as it did for me on this, then try to catch that again, because it's definitely worth it. It's definitely been a year. As you've all encountered, time has gone very fast, but it's also gone very slow. I can tell you, I was just looking at some seminar notes that I put together for a seminar I gave back in April about what was going on since March, and just those seminar notes, not even details, just the notes, we're talking 2 pages. That's from March 15th to end of April. A lot has gone on. You heard everyone, a lot of people were complaining early on that they were bored and they were watching Netflix and doing jigsaw puzzles. I'd have to say, myself and my firm, we did not have that kind of time. It had actually been very, very busy, just because so many clients were trying to understand what was going on, and we were trying to understand what was going on, and it continued to change daily, and it's still changing daily. So it's been interesting, to say the least. Just wanted to touch base. I mean, back in early March, or excuse me, mid-March, the governor had an eviction moratorium, so we were dealing with the state moratorium. That ended at the end of May. Then we had a bunch of evictions filed, and everyone was trying to get into court. Sometime in there, we also had DATCAP decided to prohibit late fees, and that was becoming an issue, so we couldn't charge late fees. Then that was challenged in court, and it was advised that DATCAP didn't have the ability to prohibit late fees. Then federally, we had the CARES Act kick in, and that caused a lot of effects in court, deciding, who was allowed to bring certain actions, certain evictions, especially based on the fact that if they were receiving certain subsidies, federal subsidies, they weren't allowed to do certain things. Portions of that CARES Act still continue today, so we are dealing with that. And then, of course, we had the CDC moratorium, which is still in place now. And as Joe alluded to, it looks like we're going to have some type of an extension through some type of an act through Congress that while it's going to give funding for everyone, it's also going to extend the eviction moratorium. And it sounds like they're referring to that moratorium being extended to prevent evictions for non-payment of rent through the end of 2021. So that will make things very interesting. In terms of court, one of the big changes for those of you that have been in court is we're not going to court in person because of the pandemic. Everything is virtual. So that's been a whole new area we've had to learn. I don't know, those of you that have been appearing virtually in court, we've been spending a lot of time in those waiting rooms. Nice thing is, at least when I'm doing that here on my laptop, on my phone or my iPad, I can continue to do other work. So it saves us a little bit time that way, but we miss the personal interactions. Some other things that have happened as a result of this virtual court appearances are we've had issues with the court not sending out the Zoom notices with enough time. So that's afforded tenants more adjournments, just because if they didn't get the notice out to the tenant early enough, then we would appear and it would get adjourned. And these adjournments were going 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So we had lots of adjournments. So that was difficult, excuse me. We also had issues with, initially, people and tenant advocates were saying, you know, we could not even serve any type of notice for failure to pay rent, whether or not we received the declaration from the tenant or not. They were saying that's a violation. And as you know, from the CDC moratorium order, the fines were steep. So that was causing a lot of concern. Over time, through litigation, through the CDC putting out a frequently asked question document, we learned both from the CDC and a federal court ruling in a different jurisdiction that we could still file. Even if we did get the CDC declaration, we could move forward on that. We also could challenge those declarations. For a while, Milwaukee County was not allowing us to challenge those. They would just say, we're not going there. So now they're allowing us to actually challenge those. However, what we found is while they're letting us challenge them, they're making it difficult. We have to file a motion to challenge. So that involves more time, more energy, more paperwork, setting forth all of the basis. And then once we're in court and getting to challenge them, we're kind of just going through the motions. The court's listening, but they defer to the tenant whenever they can. We've had one successful challenge that I'm aware of, and that was when we were able to bring in evidence showing that the tenant had not attempted to get any type of rent assistance, because we got and I don't mean we, the firm, I'm talking about we as landlords in the rental industry, brought in documentation from those rent assistance programs saying we've reached out to this person many times, they don't return our call, they haven't filled out an application, so on and so forth. So that seems to be kind of the minimum hurdle that you have to reach if you want to maybe be able to challenge these. But again, since so much of this appears that they're just giving us lip service and they're not taking these challenges too seriously, a lot of landlord attorneys have just decided that that's a waste of time and our clients' money to continue to do that. We've also had issues with other types of delays. The courts have bent over backwards to help the tenants, even on defaults where the tenant doesn't show up for a period of time. We were having 2-week stays of the writ. So tenant does not show up, but the court just on their own, we're giving them 2 additional weeks. So you couldn't execute your writ with the sheriff for 2 weeks after the default. We brought that up at a bench bar committee meeting, I'd say maybe 2-3 weeks ago. It seems to have had some effect. We've had one judge we know is no longer doing that at all, or excuse me, one commissioner is no longer doing that. We have 2 others that are a little bit mixed that always used to do it. We have one that continues to do it. We also have issues with cases being spun off to other judges. So Judge Connolly has a backlog, not her fault. but there's a backlog. And so that's been getting spun off to other large claim judges who don't have the experience in small claims and eviction procedure. So that's been both good and bad. Sometimes they're a little reticent to try to do something different. They want to know what the status quo is, and the status quo, unfortunately, is not helping landlords right now. So it's been a very difficult time. We've recently found out there are some commissioners that are not awarding holdover damages at all during the COVID. There's some commissioners that don't like holdover damages at all, but a few more have jumped on the bandwagon and just said, I'm not awarding holdover damages, which are statutory damages that the landlord is allowed at a minimum double the daily rent from when that notice expires until the date that the unit is surrendered to you. They're just saying you can't have those. So we were in court on a number of those this week, and things are changing day by day. They're very fluid. We're learning new things. And what's important is we're all staying in touch. A lot of the landlord attorneys have put together their own little email chain, and we're advising each other what happens, what works, what doesn't work. And so that's been helpful, but it's been a very frustrating process. So I'm sure if it's frustrating for us as attorneys, it's even more frustrating for those of you that are getting hit financially with this. And it is difficult for us because we'd like to get you your money and give you some certainty, but unfortunately we're not able to do that. So we're doing the best we can. I'm assuming things are not going to change going into 2021. We'll probably see some more changes, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more. I try to put some of this on my blog. Tim Ballering puts a lot of this on his blog, and I know we put some of this through on the Apartment Association social media sites. So just stay tuned to that, and eventually with this vaccine we'll get through everything, and hopefully things will get back to normal at some point. But thank you, and happy holidays.
Thanks, Tristan. Again, if anybody has a question, anything that they would like to ask Tristan at this time?
If not, I can make my hat sing and dance.
I don't see anything out there in the chat, Sadie. I don't think so. So if anybody wants to turn on their mic and their video and ask any questions to Tristan, feel free. Everybody's kind of quiet tonight.
Tristan, it's Leticia here. We want to see you dance, not the hat.
No. Sorry.
Sadie, do we have any questions in the chat? I see maybe there might be something out there.
We have a request to see the hat dance.
I'm trying to pick the best virtual background for the hat to dance. I'm trying to see what will work best.
Boy.
Something simple like that. All right.
He's even high tech there.
Hey, you guys said be festive. I'm a little disappointed with what a lot of you done. And I went to 3 different places for that sweater, but I at least got this hat. All right. I don't know if you can hear it. It sings too. It's a great.
Oh.
I can tell you my dog is scared by this and barked and then ran in the other room. So it's working great in our house.
I have a question here. It seems to me that we're trying to do a very good job here locally, but I never hear anything about what the national apartment associations are doing to try to help us communicate with our tenants a little better. I just had a situation where our village of Germantown was picking up the recycling garbage. and they decided not to do that anymore for apartments over four families. And even though we had 4 families in our complex, they said we had some bigger ones, so they wouldn't pick up recycling anymore. And it seems to me that when a tenant is paying their rent, they're paying the taxes as well in their villages and towns and cities. And they keep on getting the short end of the stick because they're not getting the services that everybody else is getting within that community. And yet they have to pay even more in their rent to be able to get the same service. And isn't there anybody that's trying to communicate or organizing, communicate with the tenants to say, hey, your rent's going up because all of a sudden what this village was doing isn't doing it anymore? I mean, we can do that a little bit locally, but I just never hear anything from the national groups that are accomplishing anything.
Tristan, do you want to comment to that? And then I would ask Tim if your mic and video is also on.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the best one to do that. I certainly know the realtors work on a national level, so Joe may have some input on that, and Tim and Heiner as well, but I don't think I'm best prepared to speak on that.
Well, I'll take a stab at it. The National Apartment Association, the National Association of Realtors, and other tenant and landlord advocacy groups have been working actually probably closer together as a result of all of the things that have taken place and the pandemic since March than they have ever before too. Their message to Congress is the same as what our message here at the state level to Congress has been. That does not necessarily address your specific question about the local level, however. I'll take the first stab at this, and then I'm sure Tim probably has some comments that he could enlighten us with. I don't think there is any such thing as a organized effort by landlords or even tenants in Wisconsin to address those kinds of issues. Where you see tenants getting together to advocate, they're getting together to advocate for the kind of things, particularly on the coasts, whether it's in California, New York, New Jersey, Portland, etc. When tenants get together to bond together to advocate for issues there, I don't think any of us would like the results, because the things that they're advocating for are just frankly really scary. Do away with rent, make mortgages and rents go away until the pandemic is over. Housing is a right, not a contract. Those are the kinds of things that tenants organize behind, but they don't get behind and talk about the kinds of things that you're talking about, sir. Not that I'm aware of.
Well, let's talk about that. It seems to me that if in fact, maybe we should support them to say, hey, they don't have to pay the rent, but because you're forcing this situation on us, the government should reimburse us with whatever we lose. And that's where we should be talking about it. Say, okay, we feel sorry for these tenants as well, but it's not our responsibility to make them whole. It's the government's responsibility, since you're passing the laws. Where are those arguments going in the national area? It's like the animal situation. The airlines got something through where they don't have to allow any kind of an animal to go on a plane, or with like a small pony. But I don't see anything regulating that for apartments. And why wouldn't we try to get that same kind of legislation for apartments as airlines can get it done? I don't see any actions in those areas that really can affect us. Now, I haven't had that effect because I don't allow pets, and so far I haven't been challenged, but I can just see what would happen if a boa constrictor got put into one of my apartments as one of those essential animals, and I have three tenants leaving for that one that has to have that boa constrictor, and I just don't see any actions by these big national groups and that for those kinds of things.
I often say that I want to get a emotional support python, because sometimes after work you just need a hug. I think the problem that we're facing is that we are all very independent, and we do not work well enough together, or at least we have not in the past, to affect change, even though I'm sure that we are a larger industry than airlines, and certainly more essential than airlines. We don't have the power that they have because we are too scattered, too independent. 74.4% of rental properties are owned by independent investors. Half of the properties, 55%, are owned by people that do it part-time. So we are small, scattered, and we don't unify enough. And groups like the NAA, which I support, are more geared towards working with the corporate property owners. Heiner and I are working with a group now that is trying to unify many of the smaller organizations like our organization and the WAA and other groups around the state on a national level to have a voice for the small rental property owner. And I think that's critical. And you know, you look at the work that Joe has done for us, we would be in much worse shape today if we didn't have folks like Joe and Heiner and Tristan working for us at the State House. And we need to get that kind of action at a national level. We also have, you know, not only emotional support animals, which are pets with a $20 vest on, but you know, issues like criminal screening. We need to know where the right place is, just a bright line. You can reject somebody for this, you cannot reject them for that, instead of this way that they have it set up now that it favors litigation. So if somebody feels wrong, they can litigate and you don't have any solid rule to follow. So I agree with you, and I think the issue that we need to work on is having a more unified voice as an industry. We also need to work on getting away from, you know, Joe talks about the tenants organizing, but what the tenants don't really realize, at least the cancel rent folks in those, is that they will not succeed if we do not succeed. If they manage to cancel rent, owners will fail, housing will become less available and more expensive for them in the future, or they can live in government housing. I cannot imagine any of those folks that I see on the protest videos as being happy about living under government rules. They probably did not like to live under mom and dad's rules. So we have to work on that.
Thank you for those comments.
Yes, thanks, Joe. Thanks, Tim, Tristan. I will just kind of comment to all the work that, again, Joe, Tristan, Tim, Heiner, this association has been in the forefront within the local greater southeastern Wisconsin area and throughout the state. And quite honestly, these groups of individuals are the ones that have been a major factor in pulling those other groups in and putting this coalition together and putting things in front of our elected officials. So this group as a whole does everything they can to voice and support our members.
Go ahead. Yeah, you're on.
So that being said,
Before you, one thing I just, this is Bernadette, just like to say thank you to Tristan for having that virtual seminar. It was really great, a stack of paperwork and examples and all that, but it was, I thought it was so well done, and one nice thing about the virtual is was able to do that. So thanks again.
Happy to do it, Bernadette. We liked the way it turned out. It certainly allowed you guys to also view it at your own pace, not have to sit there in a cramped room with me for 9 hours. So it's something we're looking into continuing even when the pandemic is under wraps, under control, rather.
All righty. Well, we've done really good on time. It's 7 o'clock, a couple of minutes after. So at this point in time, if Sadie or each of you could turn on your videos and or even your mics, if you'd like. It couldn't be Christmas and the holidays without having a few presents and gifts and or prizes. So we have some Visa, MasterCard gift cards that we are going to draw for that we have, and you've gotta be online still, be on the call still, and I will read off some names, and with the help of Sadie, we'll make sure we get these mailed out to everybody as well. So. Just starting off with number 1 real quickly. Christine Taylor.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, congratulations. Do we have your video out there?
No, I'm not sure how. Let me see.
That's a cop-out, Christine.
Oh, stop, Tristan.
Okay. I'm glad you called her out, Chris.
An IT person.
I am here though.
Congratulations and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if I can get that lucky going down this list. Second one, Carrie Moss. Is Carrie out there? Going once? Going twice? 3 times, no Carrie. Okay. Lori Sell. Going once, twice. No Lori Sell. All righty. David, I don't know if I get this last name right. Buechl, Buechel.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, all right. Did I get that right? I apologize.
That's close enough.
All righty. Congratulations, David. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Janine Sulik. Janine out there, going once, twice. Okay, no Janine. All right, well, we heard from Bernadette Brundall. Bernadette, you're out there. We know that, right?
Right, I'm here.
All right. Tristan said he wanted to see you dance now. Congratulations. Paul Stern? No Paul Stern? Okay, Linda Mangold. No Linda Mongold. Kathy Haynes. No Kathy Haynes. Darren Fortney. I'm striking out now. Darren Fortney, no luck. Ryan Kinsey. No Ryan? Ryan, you out there?
Mike, just a suggestion, put on gallery view, look who's here and pick somebody.
Yeah, well, based on how we drew these, I guess so. Steve Lehman. No Steve Lehman. David Mays. Trying to see Bob Fox.
Hey, I'm here.
All righty, there's one. Somebody woke up.
How y'all doing?
All right, good. Merry Christmas. I think that's
Merry Christmas,
4.
Joe.
Sadie, is that 4 correct?
That is correct. That is 4.
Judy Andrews.
Okay.
Judy Andrew? No? Mark Pinkerton, I think I saw you out there. No Mark?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Congrats, Mark.
Thank you.
Justin Sewell?
Yeah,
All right, congratulations, Justin.
thank you. Appreciate everything you guys do.
You bet. Jerry Steele.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much. Appreciate everything you do, and Merry Christmas.
Awesome, great. Thanks you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Kathy Franz.
I'm here.
All right, congratulations. I think we got to 8. Way to go.
Thank you.
So, Merry Christmas to all. Sadie, how are we doing that grand prize?
That is the next name on your list. Tiffany Drawowski.
See, you thought I had it difficult, huh?
Tiffany on. This is for the grand prize, the $50 Home Depot card. All right, we'll move on. Tim, do you have the next name or you want me to keep going?
Lane Freeman. Nope. Okay, how about Cheryl Ernst?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. There we go. We got our grand prize winner, Cheryl. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that's a $50 Home Depot gift card. Sadie has everybody's information, so we'll get that stuff all sent out in the mail to you. So on behalf of the board and our guests and all our admins, etc., I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, enjoy the holidays, be safe out there, and you know, spread the word. We really need to make sure we advocate as a group, as a whole, more than ever right now. There's properties changing hands, etc., newer investors in the market, people that aren't even aware sometimes that I talk to of this association. Collectively, as a whole, we have to spread the word, get the news out there, get new people involved, etc. So especially now. So again, Merry Christmas, and we really appreciate it, and thank you. Have a great evening and a great week.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.